As a marketer and a person who runs businesses, I love metrics. That can be some of the most powerful things we do. But if we're not careful, they can also drive the business. In many ways, what we're looking for is two things. Things to give us an idea of what's coming and things to give us an idea of how we're going. I use this in the terms of risk management. In project management terms, you always would work toward risk management. You wanted to make sure that you knew as soon as possible if there was a problem happening. ROI and measurements are that risk mitigation system. We want to know what's coming up quickly, and we want to know ahead of time so we can make some changes for it. The challenge is that we spend a lot of time working on metrics that may or may not be effective. There are so many vanity metrics that are created over a period of time that we get seduced into managing everything because someone else had done it like that, or we get reduced because the ROI metric that we've used in the past is starting to be managed too. One of the greatest problems with that is something called Goddard's law, formulated by Charles Goddard in 1975. It states, when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. Essentially, once people know the metric is being used to evaluate performance, they often find ways to optimize for the metric specifically, which can distort the original meaning and make it useless. An example of that is people who are in a call center and you do the number of calls per hour. You want to always increase the number of calls per hour. But that metric, although important, could create a real challenge because there are people who are trying to get off the phone as fast as possible. That can create unclear conversations. That can create people being rude and trying to get off, and few people rushing through to make pressure sales or pressure to get off the phone, opposed to solving the customer service problem. We created a number of metrics, and are these metrics, first of all, effective? Are they tied directly to revenue? I've seen a lot of ROI that's being done on social media and how they're just doing well at social media. Every social media company is going to just take what you spent and said, hey, here is your return on investment of what you've spent, not including how much is actually in the budget or how much they've spent to get to that point. The challenge here is we have to not only understand what our ROI numbers are, but also make sure that our team is not managing to them. It's shocking how many times we identify something and we find out that they're now managing to that and it's now in a decrement. Dealing with measurements alone is a real challenge. Not having them is even worse. The biggest challenge is, which ones should you use? There's the hard question. There's the part where you need someone to take a look and have the hard conversation, understand what truly your numbers are, and be somewhat stalwart about what these numbers may look like. Because all of a sudden, it may not be as rosy as you thought it would be. Now, this isn't ROI, but here's a perfect example. We have people who talk about email lists and how many thousands, hundreds, millions of people on their email list. That's a great number. That's a status number. There's lots of entrepreneurs in the digital market that love to talk about that status number. The challenge with that status number is that it's not necessarily the truth. There may be 1 million people on your email list. That email list may have do not send to 300,000 of them. That email list may be 200,000 of them haven't responded in the last 60 days, but you haven't cleaned it up yet, so you're still feeling good about that. You may only have 2,000 or 3,000 people on that list, and that may be an ego defeater, but you need to start looking at it. And you cannot use ROI measurements to boost your ego. It has to be hard and cold to show whether this is effective or not. Goddard's law I see on a regular basis, specifically on ROI numbers, because people get, and they start managing to it, they start talking about it, they start doing it like it's a brand, and all of a sudden they have unexpected consequences that actually decrease. Absolutely. Take a look and see if you can find the ROI measurements that are best. Poor measurement of ROI is one of the things I see regularly that do not help anyone whatsoever and really hurt companies because they just don't know what their ROI is. But everyone's different. Everyone needs to look at it slightly different and needs to set up a measurement. One of the best ways is to just get a hard reality from the financial person and start looking at it in a spreadsheet format that's evaluated over a period of time. Make sure you're not managing to that unforeseen consequences. You need to step back and make sure that you're giving everything you can. You have a knowledge and you have an understanding. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to comment what you think the best ROI measurement you've used is. Not necessarily what it is, but how you do it. How you use it in the future, how you use it in the past. What is the way you use to communicate that tool? Let's keep the conversation going. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for tuning into today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Want to transform your business with expert strategies? Schedule your strategy session today by clicking the link in the description below. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with venture gain. See you in the next video.